Hello. In this video I'm going to try and show you how I create my resin waves, okay? So I've mixed up my resin. I'm using a food safe resin, and what I found with this resin is it's quite a lot thicker than a lot of the other resins I use. The art resin and the table resin. So with the thinner resins, the waves don't seem to come out, the cells don't seem to come out as well. Anyway, so it might be worth letting, if you're using a thinner resin, letting it go off a little bit. This is what I'm going to use for the actual, I painted my boards with acrylic first, and then I'm going to put a tiny amount of blue in with the sea, and I'd use a tiny amount of glitter, which a lot of people seem to like. I'm trying to do this as quick as I can for you. And then in the white, I put in a little bit of white colour, not too much. A little bit of this pigment, because it gives a real nice shiny effect to the waves. Put that down. And then this stuff, it's called Magic Drops. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's like a surgical spirit or something like that, but it helps disperse. This is how you get your cells, okay? But I found if you use too much, it's just a mess. So I actually put a little bit on my finger, wipe it on there like that, so it's the tiniest amount, and then I mix it in with my white, all right? I'm going to mix that in with there. So that's my white. There's probably not enough on there, so I'm going to put a tiny amount of more resin in there. All right. Mix my blue. I'll try and bring the camera up a little bit closer now for you to see how I actually do the waves, okay? When you're using your heat gun, get it nice and hot before you blow your I'll show you in a minute. Right, so what I do, can you see this? Let me have a look here. What we're going to do, pour a little bit of blue on here, okay? A little bit of resin. I'll bring it a bit closer in a minute. I like to have a little bit over the wood as well. I know it's not easy. You can't see much with it from that angle, but I'll try and show you a little bit more now. Always make sure your boards are level. Otherwise your waves will just slide off. They'll have a slopiness to them. So always make sure they're nice and level, okay? Check your boards are level. A little bit more resin on there. I spread it out then with a, I don't know if you can see that, with a spoon, with a tongue depressor. And I'll bring you a bit closer now when I show you the waves. I've heard of people just putting their white, blowing the white across, and then spraying it down with an alcohol solution or a surgical spirit. It's something I'm going to try. I haven't tried it yet. I will try it today and I'll let you know how I get on with it. But I just spread that all along there, not too thick. But I think it does help when your resin is a little bit thicker. I found with the thinner resins, it doesn't work as much. What I'm going to do now, just along the, I'll tell you what I'll do first. Get the heat gun on there. Some a bit of light here. Get the heat gun on there. Make sure it's nice and hot, otherwise it's not going to get rid of the bubbles. Get it all along the front there. I don't know how much of this you can see, but I'll bring you a bit closer now when I come to do the waves. The more you heat this resin up, the softer it's going to become. So don't overdo it, all right? Just get rid of those bubbles so it's nice and clear, all right? Then you get a bit of white, get a little bit on your spoon, and just all across the front there like that, okay? Don't know how much you can see. I'll show you in a minute now. Just get it along the front there. I'm just going to do it quite quick and easy for you, not too much. Alright, right, this is the fun part. Let me show you what I do now. Right, so we've got resin on there. I painted the boards, resin on there, white along the front. Get your heat gun, boom. Make sure it's nice and warm, and just fold it over the top. Fold it over the top, not too much. Don't overdo it. I don't overdo it. See the cells starting to form already. Just over there, over there, over there. Brush it all over the top. It comes over the top. And then just leave it. Don't overdo it. I found that if you do overdo it, it just turns to mush. It doesn't work. So even though you're tempted like I am now, a little bit there, just a little bit thick there. Alright. But I have found this more difficult with resins that are a little bit more liquid, you know, with my art resins. So what I've been trying to do with my art resins is let them go off a little, let them cure a little bit first. But you can see now the cells just starting to appear. That's that tiny bit of you can buy it from there. It's called Magic Drops. Okay, I put the tiniest amount in. You put one drop in with the amount of white that I'm using, and it just doesn't work. You can see already. All right, starting to fall. See where I've worked it here? It's not happening as much. I could go over that with a blowtorch, but I found the more you mess with it, the worse it becomes. Excuse me. These are some of the boards I'm playing with at the moment, different ideas. I paint the boards first. I'm going to try a black one. I've tried one with that kind of a rough texture. We'll see how that gets on. But yeah, you can see how it's all forming. And that's it. I used to tape all around the bottoms, around the sides. I don't bother anymore. I just sand them afterwards. But leave that, and that's fine. Like I say, I'm using a epoxy food safe resin that I can get from resinpro. It's just because it's just a little bit safer on these boards. I think so anyway. And that's it. Thank you very much.